Evening, everybody. Welcome to another... Oh, my camera started already. That's not a good start. Another Q&Asa. Where the past, the present, and the future of gaming all converge, and we talk about it all. So what's happening now, retro stuff, what we're looking forwards to, crazy sci-fi VR tech. Actually, there was a VR showcase today, so I might inflict a little bit of that on you. Yeah, loads of stuff. So I'm talking like there's loads to talk about. I actually don't know what I'm going to talk about today. It might end up being a really short one because I've not made good plans. Don't know what we're doing. Don't know what's going on. Don't know where I am. But that's how Q&Asa usually starts, and we usually have a nice time anyway. It means it's very important for you to tell me all the things that you've been playing and to join in, because as you know, Q&Asa is a conversational show. I talk to you, you talk to me, you talk to each other. It goes round and round. It goes off track, and hopefully good things come from it. No, Tom, that's one of the rules. Rule number one, you must not ever disappoint Patrick. I don't know what's going on, but that's a rule. My music's not right. What's this horrible? Come on now. Come on, music. Wait for a second. Wait for a second. I've forgotten how the world works. I think it will fix itself. I think it will fix itself soon. So, I'm not sure it will. I'm not sure it will. I'm panicking. I'm not panicking. What have you all been playing? Because my list is very, very similar to things that I was playing last week, and I will still talk about it, but I don't know. I've had frustrations with most of the games that I've been playing, and I don't want it to be a massive negative space of me just like whining about things that have upset me for no reason. Just finished the Hell Is Us demo. What's Hell Is Us? I've heard of it. Is that the one? Is that the co-op one that I'm looking forward to, or is that something else? Hell is... Oh no! Give me YouTube. Give me YouTube. One moment. We're going to do the usual, right? So I should do the housekeeping, especially as you may have noticed I've started doing more on the channel in general. There are some new subscribers and things like that. Don't know if new people will be coming through to Q&Asa or if anybody knows what it is, but on the off chance that there are people that have never seen this before, I'm going to tell you what it's all about. It's a big conversation, like I said, very relaxed, just talking back and forth. We talk about some games, we talk about some other things, but there's also a YouTube Q&A box. So if you're watching on YouTube, you can stick whatever you want in there. It says that you're not allowed, so I expect nobody will put anything in it, but you can if you want, right? And everything that goes in there at the end of the show, we get through them one by one and answer or at least read and address every single thing that you put in there. We've also got Discord running in the background. If you want to stick your face and or voice on the internet and ask some questions, have a chat like that, then that's an option. It's just going to sit there in the background, so don't feel like you need to. And that's it, really. That's it. That's how the show works. James, you're late. You're late to the show, and it's 14 minutes past 8, so you've missed 14 minutes of the show. How very upsetting. Patrick, you played Paw Patrol Mighty Parts with your daughter the other day, and it wasn't the worst game that you've seen. What is the worst game that you've seen? Open question for everybody. What is the worst game that you've played yourself? Not that you've like seen on the storefront, not that you've heard other people complain about, but the worst game that you've actually picked up and played yourself. That's my question for everybody right now to kick things off and get things going. Rise of the Robots. Quick answer there. You know what I've gone and done? I've got two open questions. One where I ask you what you've been playing and one where I ask you what the worst game you've ever played is. And I'm going to have a little bit of trouble discerning which is which. But Rise of the Robots is your terrible game. Patrick, the worst one you played recently was Atlas Fall, and that's one with all the sand, right? Like, real kind of old in its design. Looked kind of like a neat concept with the kind of boarding across all of the sand to traverse and having all of these sandy powers and action combat. Then it had, I remember it having the worst, absolute worst, like voice acting that I've come across. Sorry, voice actors from that game, but you were done dirty. It comes across really badly. And then quite nasty, like puzzles and level design and things like that. So I get that. The trailers were great and the game was not. Yeah, I did try it as well. Tom, the worst one you played was The Simpsons Bart versus the Space Mutants on the Master System. And James, your worst game is Destiny. Your worst game is Destiny, which is highly polished, but not the kind of live service that you'd expect from your Final Fantasy XIV. I understand that as well. Tom, how far through Returnal are you? It's only got like 5 levels, right? How many have you done? I'm on the first one. I never got beyond it. Is that true? No, I did get beyond the first one. I didn't get beyond the second one. You finished Dolmen, a Eurojank sci-fi Souls-like. I know of Dolmen because it had the Dr. Octopus tentacles, right, in the trailer. Dark metallic tentacle things. And maybe some, like, I don't know, what I'm going to say red light, but I might be wrong. And you're still playing Night Rain. You've platinumed Night Rain. Painful Discourse. That's a lot. There's something about Night Rain. In the run-up to it, I didn't think I was going to like it very much. I didn't think it took a lot of what I liked about Elden Ring, and I didn't think it was going to translate. And then I got it anyway, and it became gradually less appealing over time. Hey, evening, Nate. I saw you over there in the Discord as well. You can watch it wherever you want. It's absolutely fine, but YouTube has the most people putting the messages up to have the back and forth. So probably recommend there unless you want to come and have a chat. Oh, you've not killed the first boss yet. Tom, what have you been doing? What have you been doing? Like, how are you not bored of it? Because my issue with Returnal, like, I love Returnal in a way. I love how it feels to play. But I didn't like the structure of the roguelike kind of loop. I didn't like how you can like put a fair amount of time in it and not actually make a single bit of progress and then have to do it again. And the thing that I think separates it out, or my best guess of what separates it out for other people, is that there are certain kind of Metroidvania traversal mechanics that you unlock along the way that let you take shortcuts further through the game, so you don't have to do the whole from beginning to end playthrough every time you do it. And my issue is that I hadn't really got to anything significant to make my runs progress from how they are at the very start, because I'd only beaten the first boss and done a little bit of the second level and not got whatever space bending technology I needed to skip the things I'd already done. So I went off of it, but you must be in the same situation. If you haven't done the first boss yet, you must be doing run after run that's pretty much the same thing again and again, dying. But from what I gather, still loving it. Still a fan of the game. I was going to bring up a trailer, wasn't I? Hell was us, is us. Hell is us. The sequel should be called Hell Was Us. That will be good. Hell is... I got very confused and I typed into my search box, Hell is was, and got whoever this fella is, who says nobody is in hell right now. Hell is us. It's not what I thought. It is not what I thought, but it has a demo trailer from the PlayStation channel. So I'm learning. It's a very original, apparently, action game. You've got space, you've got Earth, you've got temples, you've got puzzles, you've got drones, you've got hoods, you've got spinning, you've got particle effects, you've got dashing, you've got dodging, you've got a demo of a game. Available now. I don't know. Tom, you're still a fan of it because it plays so well. I'll tell you what, Tom, I'll give you a little bit of advice. If Returnal is too difficult, play Ratchet and Clank instead. It's deceivingly similar in the way that it plays, but it's not hard. And that's not serious advice. You should persevere with Returnal. But yeah, the controls will map very nicely if you decide to take it to a platformer instead. Isla, you're going to drive again, so don't finish the show before you get home. I make no promises at all, because like I say, I don't really know what I'm talking about today. It could be over any minute now. Could abruptly go, well, I've run out of things to say. You've stopped giving me games to talk about. End of show. No, don't everybody ask 10 questions. I will die of exhaustion. So let's talk about games. Keep them coming. Keep giving me the games. Keep giving me the ones you're playing. Keep giving me the terrible ones because I like it. And I'm going to waffle on about what's changed? The channel this week, right? That's what's going on with me. So yes, there are games being played. Yes, we're going to talk about the usual suspects and how they've all pissed me off. So Expedition 33 hasn't pissed me off, but Final Fantasy 16 has pissed me off. Final Fantasy Stranger of Paradise has pissed me off. Lies of P has pissed me off. I'm beginning to think maybe I'm the problem, and these are all good games. You've played Humanity, you're driving. Stop illegally telling me what to play and concentrate on the roads. Tom, you got Ratchet & Clank downloaded too. Oh, because you picked up your PS5 quite recently, didn't you? I remember. So you've got a few things kind of backlogged. Yeah, cool. That's nice. Yeah, games have been pissing me off, but I've also been, as of this last, really it has only been the last week, I've been pushing various things on the Gaming Arcadia YouTube channel and the rest, more than I have been. So you may have seen, I actually released a video at the weekend, 45 minutes before the podcast went live, because I am a YouTube strategical, tactical marketing genius who thought that through very well. Put my video up 45 minutes before the podcast, but the video, which was what the fuck happened in gaming this week, or this week in gaming, I can't remember, I know I get it wrong in the video itself, was the start of a series, and it did better than I expected, so that was a pleasant surprise. Now I just need some gaming news to roll in so that I can do another one this week. Podcast with Karak, ACG, was also, did pretty well for itself for the first one back in a long time. So it's been a relatively positive week of trying to get things back on track, and now I for myself need to get my acts together and start doing whatever's next, because yesterday and today have been less successful. I've been scatterbrained and useless and not really made any traction on anything of the many things I'm supposed to be doing. But that's me, and that's Gaming Arcadia, and hopefully you're all, I think everyone here that I've seen so far at least is in the Discord server and knows kind of what it's all about. And is having a nice time. Oh, on Sunday I did the thing with JT as well. JG, very confusing. Burly Bird Media over on their channel to do their Dungeon Master thing, which ended up being pretty funny as well. So that will carry on for the foreseeable, for so long as it's funny. Tom, you just finished that podcast today. It was a great chat. It was funny because like we just sat and talked for 4 hours, but there aren't many people that would throw so many obscure like references out that we both get. Like Last Bronx is a Sega Saturn game. There are not many people that would reference that in a normal conversation, and these things were just spilling out, and I was like, oh, this is so weird. This is so weird to have a conversation that's so natural for me. Just there aren't many people that could do that with, and I'm sure, I know there are some people here that would also get involved with that and have similar history of games played and things like that, which is cool, right? That's for all I hate of social media, for all I hate of the internet and connecting with so many people, there are those moments that are like, wow, I'm connecting with people that I would never in a million years otherwise have had this conversation with, about things that are interesting to me, because locally in my close proximity kind of thing, there are very few people that I could talk about Sega Saturn games with, for example. So that was nice. I had a good chat there, and I'm looking forward to doing more and getting more people involved and carrying things on in future there. Hopefully it was worth a listen as well. So people seem to like it. So I'm back to asking for suggestions for guests and things. I do have a little list on the Discord forum of suggestions that people have put in there. Some good, some awful. But yeah, more suggestions is good, and I'll slowly start approaching people. I'm not going to have guests every week because I don't approach people very often, you know, and that will become the bane of my life if I have to try and organize one every week. But just do it every now and again, relax when it suits. Yes, definitely. Tom, I didn't ask him about Sega Worldwide Soccer. I wonder, because he's on the wrong side of the ocean, right, to have played that. Well, Randall doesn't do cameras, does he? But he's an option. You never know. Painful Discourse, that has been suggested on the forum. There's a few people that have been suggested on the forum. And before I get into the precarious territory of giving an assessment of people's names as they get thrown up, I'm not going to do that. Don't throw up lots of names right now for me to react to, because I'll end up putting my foot in it. But yeah, it is Worldwide Tom, you're right. It was worldwide soccer, so I should have asked. Next time we'll clear that up. As long as there's some Souls-likes game. Thing is, Chronic, I had a terrible time playing Lies of P. That's a beautiful way to segue onto getting back to talking about games, which is what I promised to be here for, right? So, let's start with yesterday. Yesterday was Lies of P. Lies of P is mostly a good game. I think possibly slightly overrated in some quarters, but a good game, right? Yeah, I'm sticking with that because a lot of people seem to love it, and obviously this is very much influenced by small circles that I've absorbed this from, and the people that have stronger feelings about it are more likely to talk about it. So I mostly hear like stronger end of the scale of feelings towards it, and people seem to really like Lies of P. I think Lies of P is good. No guests, only Zool. Well, Luke, how's your face? I know you said I'm not an arse. I did check up on how Luke was doing, and I think you were doing all right the next day, right? So your antihistamines or whatever put you back into human shape. But is everything all well and good now? It's okay. It's not Elden Ring, but that's it, Chronic. So some people tell me that Lies of P is like up there as on a par with Elden Ring, or like the best of the Souls games, or the best third party, the best non-From Software Souls game. And I think it's good and it's pretty, but it's not that good. It's just good. And yesterday I was not in the mood for a Souls game. Sometimes it's a disaster when I do it because I hate the feeling of being negative publicly, right? It's weird because everyone has days where they just feel a bit shitty, right? And I don't like being on camera feeling a bit shitty. And Lies of P was making me feel that yesterday. I was like, I promised that Monday is Souls games. Chronic will be devastated if I don't do it, so I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna push through. But I was outwardly a cloud of darkness. Every time I was dying, I was like, it's really difficult to smile through this right now. But I'm gonna try for Chronic. Specifically, nobody else, just for Chronic. And for everybody else that was there, obviously. And it ended up being quite fun. Like, I made some reasonable progress on it, pushed through the game a bit, but there were multiple things that were pissing me off. And I don't know. It's one of them things where I doubt my own perception. Like, am I judging this fairly, or am I just in a bad mood right now? Is this boss a dickhead, or am I just in a bad mood right now? Does this all look the same, or am I in a bad mood right now? Is this parry mechanic underwhelming, or am I just in a bad mood right now? And I don't know which one it is, actually. I don't know which one it is. Not sure. So that pissed me off a little bit yesterday, but not so much that I'm going to drop it or anything like that. Lies of P will be conquered. I will get through it. I will push. Good evening, Joe. Good evening, Pete. Don't overpromise. So the promises help me, Pete. Commitments help me, right? What's the third option, Joe? I think, Pete, because I'm sure you're aware, I am actually fairly scatterbrained, and it's quite easy for me to not achieve anything by having too many half ideas and not focusing on any one thing. So if I promise and commit to something, then actually do that something, then I'm moving forwards and everybody wins. I can handle that, rather than don't promise anything, don't do anything, regret not doing anything afterwards. Is the kind of alternative for me. So I'm going to keep overpromising. Minor skill issue. Oh, Joe, that's so nice of you. Like, he said minor skill issue. Nobody else would have said minor. Joe's the nicest person. Yeah, that is definitely an option. Skill issues abound. Could be why I was miserable and all the rest of it. But no, I'm pushing forwards. It's going all right. So Tom, you thought it was good, but not great. Does the OG Souls formula well, and it's different with the story, which makes sense. But you agree that it's nothing special. Yeah, and it is just picky. But so Tony was watching, and he was picking up on this. The parries, I like that most of the enemy attacks are kind of predictable. So you can parry quite effectively. It's quite a tight window, and you need to be relatively sharp. And to be fair to the game, they don't call it a parry. But it doesn't parry. It's a perfect guard. It makes a red flash and doesn't influence the enemy's movement, doesn't have any kind of animation response or anything like that. So you don't parry, you just perfect guard. And that's, for a game that has such a heavy focus on the parry, I would rather it was more Sekiro, rather the parrying felt that bit better. Some people disagree on that. I've said that before and had pushback that actually they like the parry system. It's got a good one. It feels okay to execute, but it doesn't do enough. So that left me a little underwhelmed with that. And I find the environments, they're pretty and it rains a lot, but there's a lot of similarity running through it, which is okay. Like, it's not the biggest team in the world. It's kind of that AA space of game. So I don't. That's an unfair criticism to say there's not enough variety, but streets be streets be streets. And some of the bosses are dickheads. Didn't use the parry almost. Yeah, lots of people have said that, but I like it. I want to parry everything. I want to break their weapons. I don't particularly like the feel of the dodge in it, because it's a weird one in Lies of P. If you've got an enemy locked on, then you can't roll. You just do a little hoppy dodge, which works okay. Most of the enemies are quite fair. Like, they don't have those kind of attacks that track you around corners as you move, so you can very effectively dodge quite a lot. But I don't know. I like a parry. It's just the more satisfying option. In fact, I will say I parried so much yesterday, and I'm not awful at the parrying. I give myself a little bit of credit. I'm not like a YouTube sensation who can like waltz through the game without taking a single hit or anything, but I parry a fair amount. However, my attempts at parrying have finally done in my Elite controller. It's not broken, but the left bumper has stopped feeling quite as springy and responsive and reliable as it was. And this is a first generation Elite controller. Fortunately, I have two. I've got, this might not show with the whole green screen thing. I've got two, right? But this one's stuck on the Xbox at the moment, and this is my PC one. It's lasted since the Elite controllers were debuted. I got it as soon as they came out. So I've not been one of the unlucky ones that gets through like 4 controllers a year and complains about the build quality, but it has finally started to give up on me. And that's quite a lot of years of use, I suppose. Quite a lot of left bumper clicks. And it does still technically work, but I might need to rejig and use something 100% reliable for the next little play. So that's Design Labs have come back online, which they have. So it's a good time to get a custom one. It's actually, though, technically a terrible time to get a custom controller, because I did leave my job at the end of the last month. So when the stars align, it would be a good time to get a nice custom controller. But not today. I'm going to make do with what I've got, especially as I do have decent options. I'm actually also secretly quite a fan of the DualSense as well. So I've wanted a DualSense Edge for a long time. I would probably use that for quite a lot of PC games if I did have one, but I do not. So I'm missing back paddles so much on the PS5. Yeah, the DualSense Edge has 2 back paddles, which is really probably enough, but it's an overly expensive controller. So still an overly expensive controller. It doesn't go into like discount very much very often. But I'm with you, Tom. I have also trained myself to have back paddles. Now I cannot jump without them. Kinda. The negative effects of missing parries is too big for you. You preferred Sekiro and at least guarding without losing health when you miss it. So I don't think it depends. On Lies of P, you've got guard and you've got perfect guard, so you can attempt to time the perfect guard, and you're right, if you miss it, you end up taking a sword to the face. It's got a regular guard that's a lot easier to use, where you take chip damage and you can recover your health if you respond by counter-attacking. So you get hit against your guard, you lose a bit of health, but you recover it if you attack back right afterwards. And that's probably, in most scenarios, that's probably reliable enough to use. And you've got dodges. And like I said, the game is pretty fair. It's not unfair in the way that like a bad Souls-like would be. Like, I suspect, and this isn't fair, I've not played Wu Chang, but the ones that champion themselves on difficulty, the Wu Changs and things like that, I reckon will probably feel less fair, in that they'll do that whole thing that Expedition 33 does, where they're feinting and using off-timed attacks and all that kind of stuff. Lies of P is pretty straightforward in that sense. You can intuit most attacks when they're supposed to land and when you're supposed to deal with them. So it's not that bad in that sense. I like that about it because I prefer something that feels fair over something that feels difficult for difficulty's sake, if that makes sense. But less health loss now than at launch. At launch, it wasn't worth it. What do you mean? You mean the normal guard wasn't worth it? Because when you miss parries, you don't guard anything. Like if you attempted a parry and you missed it, then you don't get a guard off. You have to choose. So what were you doing, Painful Discourse? Were you not guarding at all? Were you just relying on dodge? Chronic, the shoulder mechanism should be the same as the standard controller definitely used to be. So if you have an old knackered standard, rob the bits from it. I actually don't. Oh, actually, I probably do. But it's the kind of thing where I reckon I'd make it worse. Because it's like, it's a functional button. It just feels slightly wrong. Have I played more Claire Obscure since last week's stream? Wix, I have not, but after Q&Asa today, I will be. So Expedition 33 carries on today. Expedition 33 hasn't pissed me off. A little change of pace, let's talk about that one. So I played Expedition 33 on stream, you were there, you saw it. It had some moments that righteously pissed me off, actually. That stupid raft mini game. But I forgive it, that's okay, that was minor. I was in a fine mood, I could deal with some bad raft play. So I was playing Expedition 33, it got to a point where the world opens up a little bit, you can traverse in new ways. And there were quite a few enemies on the map that were quite able to obliterate me in one hit. So I spent probably too much of that stream going face first into enemies that I couldn't deal with. And the thing with Expedition 33 is because it has its dodge and parry mechanics, it means technically if I was that kind of wizard player that can dodge and parry perfectly and get everything right, then these encounters would have been achievable. But you'd have to do it so right for such a long period of time that it's not worth the attempt, because I know that I'm not that person, right? I'm always going to get hit sometimes. But that was fun. I got to see some monsters, got to get killed by some monsters, and I held my own and killed a few things and made very limited slow progression through the game as well. Actually, I really want to get through Expedition 33 because I am enjoying that story a lot, and I want to get to the end of it so that I can have some good conversations about it. Full of spoilers, not here. I'm not going to spoil anything here, but way better at that game than most players. I do not accept such credit. I don't think that's true. I don't think I'm particularly good at any kind of game. I'm okay at most things, but only okay. Yeah, and I don't. Yeah, Expedition 33 is nice, but it is the story more so than the gameplay that's keeping me pushing through it. I don't think if you gave me like a lackluster story. I'm trying to think of a game that had a story I didn't really enjoy, and it's obviously there's going to be loads. But if you just gave me that combat without such a compelling setting, I probably would have dropped it a while ago. But then, to be fair, I'd say that about any turn-based game, right? Turn-based games, the turn-based combat isn't what carries me through them. Even like a Final Fantasy VII, I wouldn't play it for the sake of the combat. It is always the story that carries them through. But in this case, I don't know. I prefer more old-school turn-based combat without the responsive dodges and parries and stuff thrown in. I don't know. That's just complaining for the sake of it, though. I am enjoying Expedition 33. Other games that I've played, though. Oh, I was freaking furious at Split Stream. Platforming to my death. Oh, Chronic, I forgot. Yeah, no, it wasn't just the rafts. Expedition 33 did have me platforming to my death. Whose idea was that? Jumping puzzle bullshit. Yeah. Just wait until I get the painted power Pictos. I'll be a force to be reckoned with. That sounds like cheating. But okay, I will look forward to it. Tony, I would be beast in Overwatch 2, but I don't want to play games with randos. I'm not, so Overwatch 2 I actually really struggle with. I'm unfortunately pretty bad at shooting games in general, I think. Battlefield 6 taught me that. Add that to the list of things that freaking frustrated me. Okay. Okay, keep my list in order. So Expedition 33, I had it on my good list as not frustrating, and then Chronic reminded me of the jumping puzzle, and I reminded me of the rafts mini game. But it's still on the good list. It's staying on the good list. I had a nice time playing Expedition 33. Strangers of Paradise, Final Fantasy Origin, on split stream with Amin. Feckin' disaster that was. My calm demeanor and stubbornness works great in most games. Maybe that's the problem, Chronic. I don't have that in shooting games. Good point. James, Final Fantasy 14 has platform jumping too. Yeah. Optional, right? Mini events and things. No one's picked out the OST in the background yet. Now's your moment, because this is such a recognizable, distinct theme of a game. Banging soundtrack. I was pleased with myself for finding this one. Yeah. That was Expedition 33. Stranger of Paradise, Final Fantasy Origin. Played it with Amin. Split stream, very nice format, with co-op game, almost all the way through. Every now and again it made us break apart. A little bit frustrating when you had to do a solo mission on a co-op stream. A little bit awkward to both be doing that independently at the same time. But then we get towards the end of the game, and the last mission... No, Tony, it's not Baldur's Gate 3. But thank you for having a guess. I shouldn't humiliate you for getting it wrong. I apologize for laughing. That was mean of me. Won't have anyone playing the game if I laugh at bad answers. Yeah. Got to the last missions of Stranger of Paradise, and it suddenly decided it's a single player, overly difficult, frustrating, son of a bastard, awful game. And it was quite enjoyable up to that point. I'd enjoyed building up the character. The combat was like repetitive, but it was fine. It was fun enough. The story was bad but forgivable. And I was playing with Amin, so it was like, games are fun when you're playing with other people. So we were carrying it through. We were having a good time. We were blasting through it without too much issue. Difficulty seemed like reasonably well adjusted, so that there was a constant kind of threat to keep us on our toes. And then you get to the end and it's like, no, it's not a co-op game anymore. You're on your own, and also it's ass bastard hard. Skill issue. James, go and do it. And I say it's ass bastard hard, actually. It's not necessarily. It might be easier than like your typical Souls game, Eliza P-Boss or whatever, because like it might not have been that hard if I had bothered to like get in that frame of mind where you're paying attention to what the boss is doing and getting that kind of pattern recognition and knowing when your opportunities to attack are. But it had been such a mash of a game up to that point that I wasn't in that mode. So yeah, maybe skill issue. In the end, it's the end of Paradise you were both a stranger to. Well, I'm going to say no, Tom, because we didn't actually get to the end. We haven't finished it yet. Neither of us did that final boss. We both went, bollocks. Let's play something else next week. So that may remain incomplete forever. Or I might silently do it offline sometime. I'm not going to stream it because it was boring. Want to know the ending? No, Tony, because I might do it one day. And also, the story is not one to follow in that way. So... which is kind of a shame. It starts off like it's going to actually do quite an interesting little non-canon, but still consistent, strange take on the lore of the first Final Fantasy game. Like it feels like it's going to add a layer to it, give you a little bit of a, not necessarily official, but kind of works, weird backstory to it. And it just goes off the rails and loses that entirely and does its own thing, which is a shame. It could have stayed... like there was lots of scope for it to stay closer and tell its weavy story within the confines of what happens in the game. But, oh well. I probably want to finish it. Interesting. I'm surprised by that, Tony. I will finish it, but it won't change what I just said about what it's done to the original one. If I'm a true Final Fantasy fan. Oh, am I a true Final Fantasy fan? Nobody should ever declare themselves a true fan of anything. Why did my camera flicker again? It's been doing that lately. Let me think. Never mind, I'll just go invisible every now and again. Why is it doing that? Has really nobody got the OST yet? Can you not hear it? Is it silent? Because I know loads of you have played this. Too warm for Elgato. No, that's not going through Elgato. That's going through some shitty thing. Although I could change that. No reason for it to go through a shitty thing. I've got so many spare capture cards just sitting around. Yeah, okay, maybe I'll change it. Use a proper one. So, yeah, that was Stranger Paradise. Probably the most negative of my gaming experiences for the week, because that was let me get right to the end and then give me this crushing disappointment of a not the same game anymore. Irritating. I also played something else that pissed me off. What was it? What are my other string games at the moment? So I've done Lies of P, which pissed me off a bit. Expedition 33 I was good with. What did I play on Wednesday? Oh, Final Fantasy 16. Some of you were witness to this. Some of you were witness to this. 3 hours of nothing. Nothing. That was really unfortunate. I like Final Fantasy 16 as a game. But I streamed it like a month ago, and it was a big climatic battle with one of the, whatever they call them. What do they call them? What do they call the summon guardian icons? Might just be icons in this one. A big battle with an icon. It was spectacular. It was overly drawn out. It was kind of bad in its own right, but it happened, and it was inevitable, and I knew it was inevitable that after that 20-minute climactic battle, the game was going to have a slow section to kind of set up what happens next. And I didn't expect that that slow section would be 3 hours of looking at bakeries, whatever was going on. And I was streaming this, and it was, as Chronic says, punishment. I say, this is a good game, guys, I promise. Stuff happens in this game. Honestly, loads of stuff. There's combat, there's like action, there's particle effects, there's good music, but right now I'm helping a baker find his apprentice. And it just went on for so long. Like, it was too long for the boring bit. I haven't even finished the boring bit, right? At the point that I logged off, there was still tedious side quests on my map that I'm supposed to complete before I continue. So I'll complete those offline. Might do the whole of that game offline, to be fair, because I didn't stream most of it, so there's no point in, like, for the sake of continuity, it doesn't need to be live and online. Might just get on with it and then tell you, honest guys, it was good. Honestly, you didn't see any of it, but I liked it. Hopefully, if it plays out that way. And the other thing that pissed me off on my unsuccessful week of unsuccessful games, and hopefully some of you have opinions on this as well, was the Battlefield 6 beta. Who played that? Some of you played that. What do you think of it? Evening, Dave Mac, by the way. I see you there. Sorry for playing Lies of P after your bedtime. It was an accident. Oh, come on. You must know this soundtrack. Nobody does. That's fine. I'll tell you at the end. It's the first one Q&Asa hasn't had like bespoke soundtracks for a while, because I've just been recycling ones from days past, as I didn't have time to set them up. But I set this one up. So it's very good. Battlefield finally back to form. Dave Mac, I am forgiven. By default, you have to forgive me. I can't handle it otherwise. Break down live on the internet. Chronic, you tried it twice. Getting into the BIOS wasn't worth the effort. Getting into the BIOS? Oh, you didn't have the whole... It's what is it that it needs? Was it TPM? Was it the Windows Secure Boot stuff? Has to be enabled to play it. What's the deal with it? I know there is a story there, but I didn't look into it. It just worked for me, so whatever it wants, I already have on. And I know... what version of Windows are you? You're on Windows 11, aren't you? You should already have all of that enabled. I think maybe Microsoft removed the requirement somewhere along the line, but... Secure Boot needs enabling, as in... Is it a particular version of TPM or something like that? That's all boring stuff. I don't want to talk about TPM and Secure Boot too much, but you had to go in your BIOS, you had to enable that. Otherwise, Battlefield wouldn't play. So this is the kernel level anti-cheat, relies on TPM secure boot. And if you don't have it, you can't play. If you do have it, you can still cheat if you like, as there were plenty of little bits of footage of cheaters going around as well. Battlefield 6 was fun, but too many cheaters, you're good. It's probably got less cheaters than Overwatch, right? Apart from the fact that it's got more players in general. But in theory, it should have more and tighter security than Overwatch, right? And Overwatch is notorious for having cheats as well, I think. The requirement for Windows 11 and Chronic UK asking why he always has issues. But Battlefield doesn't require Windows 11, right? You can enable that stuff, stick with Windows 10. I know Windows 10 out of support, more and stuff and all the rest of it, but... Anyway, the game itself though. So Chronic, you did manage to get on eventually via US servers or something like that. Why were there cheat issues in the Battlefield 6 beta? Depends on the question, Wix. There's multiple angles to approach that. If you mean, why was the anti-cheat ineffective in stopping them? That's one question. If you mean, why would anyone bother to cheat? That's another very valid question. You didn't ask why. So that's even more of a valid question, because you just said, were there any cheat issues in the Battlefield 6 beta? And yes, there were people... very quick to publicly show footage of the cheats that they had enabled, the wall hacks, aimbots, all the usual, right? The kind of ultimate cheats, they were all there, firing off just fine. I wouldn't say there were lots of them. I wouldn't say that I encountered any in a game myself, but there's plenty of footage around of people having successfully cheated within hours of the thing coming out. But the game itself, I had lots of difficulties with the beta. I made the mistake, actually, and this is a surprising mistake. The EA launcher, most people were playing it on Steam because that's where the beta was, but I have it on the EA, whatever they call it, EA Play subscription. So I played it on their launcher, and I noticed that the launcher had the overlay enabled, which is a no for me. I never have overlays enabled because they cause instability and problems and serve no purpose for me. So they always, as a rule, disable any overlay. So I went in and disabled the overlay for EA, got back onto Battlefield, and it ran like shit. It was so bad. And I was just cracking my head, like trying to figure out why Battlefield went from running okay to really not running, despite having like ample power in the PC. It just wasn't running. And I got its performance metrics up, and it was saying that it was like the CPU, it lists individual frame rates by component and by net stats and all the rest of it. And it said my GPU was breezing it, but my CPU was running the game at like 33 frames per second or something. So what? Because my CPU's not trivial. It's not like the top of the world, but it's strong. And it turns out it was because I disabled that overlay. I put that overlay back on and Battlefield 6 worked fine again. But I would say in my time playing it, I don't think I had maybe 1.5 actual games that weren't spent trying to troubleshoot issues. And I didn't much enjoy them because I can't see shit. I think in the beta that's coming this weekend, they've got an additional map or two, and that's quite important to me from what I've seen of it, because everything that I saw at the beta was like street level dust. And previous Battlefield games that have looked so impressive had so much more going on, so much more variety in the landscapes. I'm hoping that that's just a case of like limits of the number of maps that are in the beta, and when it actually gets going, there'll be more to see. But what I did see was quite explodable. So unlike Battlefield 2042, the destruction works as you'd want a Battlefield game to work. You can blow all kinds of crap up, and it's good fun. Metal. Wait a minute, 330,000 block attempts during the beta. Oh, yeah. Yeah, they did brag that they had successfully kept out 330,000 cheats during the beta. That is true. So the anti-cheat is doing something. It's weird. Imagine if we didn't have to deal with that. If people played games nicely and they didn't have to implement anti-cheat, and we didn't have to expose our Windows kernels to try and keep these people out. How cool would that be? And then take it further and imagine if like people were nice in general, so computers didn't have to be built with a security first kind of principle. How bloody fast would they be by now? What a shame people are assholes, but they are, so that's what we get. Battlefield has always been a nightmare for seeing enemies. That's why you get points for spotting enemies for the team. That's true, Tom, but this one has so much smoke. It's extra hard. I've always had the Battlefield chimney issue, as I would call it, where I think maybe I see someone, shoot them for a little while, then realise it's a chimney, it's a lamppost, it's a rock, it was never a person at all. But this one has so much smoke. And for me, inconsistencies in whether it tells me there's an enemy or not. So I struggled with that. Like, I can see nothing and I'm dying repeatedly. And then I would be playing with the mean and it'd be like, oh, I killed 4 people. And I'd be like, oh, that's not bad. You're doing well killing 4 people. I've done like 2. And I'm talking about the entirety of the round. And he's talking about like that 3-second split where he's just having a good time killing things. And I'm just terrible. Playing for Discourse, don't understand cheating. What do you get out of winning with cheats? I don't know either. Like, as far as I can tell, the full appeal is just that you're ruining things for other people, and that's how some people like live, I guess. That's why social media is so terrible as well. Some people take great joy from just ruining things. That's it, right? I mean, they can't feel accomplished for winning when they cheat. They can't surely actually be enjoying it moment to moment, but ruins things for other people. So that's a criteria for success for some, I suppose. Target trouble, yes, Pete. That's me. I'll get better. Like, it's also, it's weird because my aim is fine when I play Doom, but I play Battlefield and I don't know, it's just something up. It doesn't feel the same. But I'll get there. I'll tune my hand to go where it's supposed to eventually. Demon was probably playing at 1080 with all the bells and whistles off, so there's less on the screen. Probably, yeah, found a way to remove the smoke. People enjoy trolling and hate on EA, which probably makes things worse. Yeah, like, there seems to be generally quite a lot of like positivity around this Battlefield, which is a surprise because it is normally the default to assume the worst of EA, and maybe it's right to assume the worst of EA, but people seem to have liked this basis. Disclosure: never copied homework, cut in line, asked for a favour others can't ask for, eating food when your doctor said not to, speed over the limit. I'm not sure that these have anything to do with cheating on a game, Tony. What do you mean? I wasn't trying to pull a sanctimonious, like, thou shalt not sin line of thought. I was more of the opinion that thou shalt make their sins fun, and cheating in a video game is not. Speeding in a car, that can be fun, and you can get places faster. Like, there's reason to do it, and it's very easy to understand. I'm not saying you should. I'm not endorsing speeding. Don't get me wrong. Don't come and arrest me. But, like, the logic is fairly clear. Same for, like, even copying homework has a real-world benefit. Kind of. Not one that I'd go for myself, but you can understand it. Cheating in Battlefield just wasted your own time, really, surely. Like, what did you do besides ruin a game for 63 other people? FCW keeps things legal. Honest governor. Gaming will pass and you play 4K, full on ultra, and you had frame gen on, so you couldn't even control the mouse properly. I will give it another go this weekend, now that things actually work. Hopefully it'll be better for me. What else have we got? So them's the games that I've played. See, I thought we'd be finished by now because I didn't have anything to talk about, but Cuphead. I have not played Cuphead this week. The OST that you're listening to is also not Cuphead, but you're a lot closer than Tony was. So good effort, you know. It was 2 times frame gen. You already had 120 frames per second. Yeah, so I was playing at 60. I try and limit myself to 60 at the moment, which doesn't feel nice for first-person shooters. It's fine for pretty much everything else, but for first-person shooters, I do feel that. Dave Mack, we should all go out. a hell run in the car to see what speed we can get. Absolutely, Dave Mack, and I can't be arrested because my car is currently knackered and doesn't go above about 65 miles per hour. Put my foot down and just be like, oh, it's not working today, which is a problem. But yes, I'm endorsing all of the crimes so long as they're fun crimes. I'm excited for the new Street Fighter movie. No, don't be silly. I should look at the cast. I have seen bits and pieces of it, right? I don't know my Street Fighter characters well enough for this to be a good idea, but do you know what the movie's called? New Street Fighter movie. I bet that'll cover it, won't it? New Street Fighter. Oh, there it was. Okay, AI is telling me. We don't want AI, let's get... Here we go, here we go. Let's have a little look-see. Accept all of the cookies. The Street Fighter cast. We've got... Andrew Koji is Ryu. Yeah, looks about right. Kalina Liang is Chun-Li. It's impossible to tell without explicit pictures of the buttocks, but I'm going to assume that that's a good casting. What? Okay, hair can be dyed, so Noah Centineo as Ken is fine. Jason Momoa as Blanca. Yeah, fine. Like, how do you cast Blanca? Okay, cool. 50 Cent as Balrog. Fine. Cody Rhodes as Kyle. Why am I reading these? I don't know who these people are. I remember seeing people complain about this guy being M. Bison, but as long as he holds that face for the entirety of the movie, he fits as M. Bison. I'd have to have him stand on a box or whatever. Andrew Schulz as Dan Hibiki. I don't know Dan Hibiki. Perfect fit. Orville Peck as Vega, and they found a picture of the fella with a silly mask on. Or has this person never been seen in real life, so nobody actually knows what he looks like? Anyway, perfect. Roman Reigns is Akuma. Nobody likes Akuma. He's not supposed to even be in the film. I learned nothing from checking that cast listing. Thank you, Amin. Are you looking forward to it? Tony, who's racist? Who has a perfect shaped head? Wait a minute. Chronic Scene. You want to see Jason Statham as One Punch Man? No. Definitely not. Definitely 100,000,000% not. Saitama would be, like, not the actual... But our Saitama would be a better One Punch Man. You love Orwell Peck's music. Don't know any of it, but I'm not... I don't do a good job of remembering who anyone is and what they do. Even if it's bad, you're going to laugh and you're going to watch it. There's a Mortal Kombat movie as well, isn't there? Weird trip back through time when it was a good idea to make movies of fighting games that don't really have much of a story. Dodge can be One Punch Man. No. One Punch Man is like, he's so gentle most of the time. He's so unassuming. That's One Punch Man, right? I'm not saying that Dodge isn't gentle and unassuming, but no, our Saitama is a better fit. Anyway. What else have we got? Are there any topics today? Did anybody see there was a VR showcase today? And kind of an indictment against VR. Last I checked, the VR live showcase had only had like 2,000 views or something like that. Mortal Kombat 2 trailer, yeah. Yeah, I know there was a Mortal Kombat trailer. I'm not going to put that out because Warner Brothers are historically kind of dickheads with copyright strikes and stuff. So at least in terms of their games and things, they always have been. So I'm not going to put out their movie trailer. What do I think? Haven't seen it. Haven't seen it. What do you think, Tony? Shall I put it out? Yeah, fuck it. Why not? Fuck it. Why not? In the interest of science, we'll find out. So, YouTube. One moment. Mortal Kombat 2 trailer. Here we go. Official trailer on the Warner Brothers channel. Strike away, you motherfuckers. Were there any games in the VR showcase? Tom, there were. I haven't seen it yet. We'll bring them up in a minute. Is he supposed to be Johnny Cage? Just because he has sunglasses, he doesn't otherwise look like him. Oh yeah, okay. Does he speak in the same silly accent as he does in The Boys? Kind of need to hear. Okay. I'm bored of the Mortal Kombat trailer. I don't like Mortal Kombat games, so none of this means very much to me. It has blood. He speaks with the same accent. Oh dear. Did I hear about Microsoft rolling out over 18 ID checks in the UK? For what services? For Xbox or for what? I know, like, most places have some various checks and stuff going on at the moment, but it's funny though, what the dialogue on this is funny. Well, I'll have to take your word for it. But it looks okay. Given the source material, you know, is just Mortal Kombat. And I know Mortal Kombat, to be fair, the fighting in Mortal Kombat is wank. But the presentation of story, not the story itself, but the story presentation is something they do better than other fighting games. And I've never followed it, like, as a coherent plot, probably not. But as a well-captured piece of cinematography, I think they do a decent enough job of it. OG Mortal Kombat intro hit so hard, as in the music. That they did have. Wix, the age verification thing in the UK is blown completely out of proportion. From which angle? Who's blowing it out of proportion? Our government blows it out of proportion, or the response from people verifying are blowing out of proportion, or what's going on? Because I had to verify for Discord just to get onto my own forum. Have I had to verify for anything else? I think maybe Twitter I had to verify for as well. And it doesn't overly upset me, but I get why people are bothered by it. We did speak about it a couple of weeks ago when it was fresh. Tom, that was a few weeks ago. If you want chat functions post 2026, then you have to bend over to the UK government. So for Xbox, Microsoft are rolling them in, or for Microsoft Teams. The response from social media was overblown. I understand the concerns though, because it is very, very close to like losing the free internet. So I don't have strong opinions one way or the other, because the free internet and the idea of it is like a massive positive, and people are dicks, so I don't really know. I don't know. I'm not going to cheer for it being like government controlled as such, and I know that's not what the age verification thing does just yet, but I can see the argument against the overreach in general and how it can very easily lead from one to the other. That can very easily lead to losing your internet anonymity. And it doesn't upset me very much, but I know that it should, so I try and be upset by it. I'll try. T-App had all of their info leaked. T-App. That's, I know what you're talking about. You're talking about the, I think it's just American app to track bad men, right? It was a kind of social media database of people reporting bad exes or bad guys, and then all kinds of details were hacked and leaked because it was not a good app whatsoever. But But the age verification thing, Tony, isn't like that, right? In theory, if you believe the words in front of you on a screen, it is an on-the-spot verification. Analyzes your face and then deletes the information afterwards. It is just a checkbox that's ticked. It's not storing your face. It's not storing your location. In theory, that's what it says when you do it. Using your ID is also an option if you choose to. But anyway, I don't want to talk about that again because I've already spoken about it a bit. FTW, you watched Sinners last night. You didn't expect it to be as good as it was. I've only heard positive things about it, but I know absolutely nothing about it. Wait, you don't like the free internet. If something is illegal in real life, why is it not illegal online? If you're underage, there are good reasons why you can't go to nightclubs, gamble, buy cigarettes. And yeah, the age verification side of it, I'm not against that. It's the fear that people have is like right now, real world example. We also have in the UK, this is not what I want to get into. You also have in the UK, like 500 odd people were arrested for having Palestine action placards and protesting, right? And that's the kind of stuff that people are worried about, is that you talk about free speech and people's ability to say things and government overreach in general. If the government decide that certain things going on the internet are also illegal, I mean, they can already do that. So this age verification thing doesn't really change it. But this is where trust issues come in, and you can understand people not wanting that level of intrusion. And it's not children that are complaining. I've not heard children complain about the age verification. It's grown-ups that don't feel like they should have to do it. So the people that are legitimately supposed to be able to get their porn or whatever, they're the ones that are mad about it. And there are legitimate concerns, because you can very easily see a government abusing government powers generally through world events, you know. I have no, like I say, I don't have a stake in the ground. I don't have a strong opinion on it right now. I will keep a wary eye on it and carry on playing my video games. Who didn't like Fantastic Four? I've not seen it. Government's thinking too much about the kids. They need to relax. Tony, I don't know about that. Tom, you agree with age verification, but it's not just about that. It's far bigger. Hopefully it's not far bigger, but people are reasonable in being guarded against it becoming far bigger. And I don't rate people very highly, so I'm not necessarily against people being on tight leashes anyway. Apart from me, I should be free to do whatever I want whenever I want, because I can be trusted. So, Tony, you're picking up T-Rex. Good. Go for it. What else should we talk about? Because I don't want to talk about global politics or UK politics particularly right now. And I'm not like a no politics person in general. I think people should be able to speak these things as grown-ups, but it is a recipe for disaster at the same time. I do recognize that. So we're going to talk about video games. Let's look at, I'm going to find this VR thing. Does anyone know where it was? I had it open earlier. VR showcase. There we go. Showcase. It's coming. My camera stuttering is upsetting me. I don't like any kind of technical problems. I don't like me being on camera either, but when I'm going to be there, it might as well work. Okay, so Amin, this is for you. You like your VR stuff. There's a Ready or Not VR mod. Let's have a look at that. Official, and you already knew that this was coming because you've mentioned it before. But there are lots of shooty games. VR, James, it won't take long. It won't take long. So, I mean, you have seen a bit of it. I actually haven't seen any of it. And VR stuff doesn't translate well into pancake trailers ever. So none of this is going to be like that much a joy to watch, I'm sure. But it's still good to know what's coming. Actually, I just want to know what's coming. Let me close this off for a minute. Did you see anything that you're going to play, I mean? Because I still need to tidy my VR space and make room to play it. But I do want to. I want to get back into the VR in the very near future because I miss it. I miss it very much, even though the weather is too warm for it right now. Chronic, who here didn't get to play a game that was above their age as a kid or watch an 18 movie before they were 18 as our parents deemed us mature enough? Shame the government wants to remove parental rights. Chronic, yes and no. Like, who here hasn't encountered many a situation where parents are just shit as well? So it's not a simple discussion, that one, on how much control a parent should have over raising their own kid. Because people aren't inherently good parents just because they have kids. And is it the government's place to try and fix that? That's a debate and a half that I'm not going to have right now. Because you can make a very valid argument that it's not, and a very valid argument that it would be grossly negligent for them not to try and fix things. Not a simple black and white answer on that one, I'm afraid. I mean, you saw I Am Your Beast. Oh, I've seen the name of that. I should dismiss that as probably not all that interesting. Aces of Thunder might be fun. You can fly around in aeroplanes and shit, which is always good in VR. There were a fair few shooting games and a fair few magic games, a couple of horror games, but I want to see... I don't know what I want to see. Is there anything that anybody else wants to see that you're aware of from it? Does anybody care for the VR showcase, or shall I gloss over this and move on to bed or whatever's next? World War Z has a VR game. Could be interesting, but I want to see how Flat Out is coming along. Which I'm looking for. I'm scanning. It's too much of some guy talking about stuff though, so I'm still scanning. Flat Out still isn't showing in the trailer, so I'm not going to bother putting it up. It still isn't showing. Oh, it is showing bonnets now, so Flat Out might actually end up being hella good when that comes to VR. Because they now have, which they didn't have before, they now have in-car views featured in the trailer, which is essential for playing in VR. Flat Out could be very cool if you can play it without being sick. Which I can, because I take travel sickness tablets. You want to know the VR highlights? Cool. Let's have a debate on Discord. In Discord, you have opinions. Wix, that's fine. Like I say, just don't let it devolve into attacks going back and forth. That's the rule in Discord. If it starts dipping into personal attacks and people can't have a civilized conversation, then stop that conversation. But otherwise, have at it. Tony, you need Coke, but you're driving. You're going to get T-Rex, or are you walking to get T-Rex? Looks like Wreckfest. Yes, James, Flat Out is very much that genre of racer. Smash things. So, I don't really know the highlights from VR. There were quite a few games there. For me, the highlights are the ones that say they support PC VR and PS2, PSVR 2 VR, rather than just Quest native. Because I'm always there for the bigger, higher fidelity that you get from having a dedicated box to run the game, rather than running it on your face directly. But yeah, do you know what? They just don't work in trailers for me. I'm going to have to get on and play them, and then I'll tell you what was good once I've got them on my face and had a go and run around. There's quite a lot of zombies going on here, and quite a lack of textures, right? So in VR with that on your face, it might look really good. Reduced down to a flat screen, the trailer just inherently looks less impressive than standard World War Z. You just have to be familiar with what it's like in those worlds to know the difference. Very difficult to portray what's good about VR through the medium of YouTube. Tony drives to his neighbor's house and he's walking to pick T-Rex up. Does he? That's a very American thing to do, actually. So I can believe it. You can... Oh... Yes, Chronic, there are... Chronic, yes, Tom, there are many stupid people, there are many evil people, there are many stupid and evil people. And those people can be in all walks of life, so... I had a coffee now, and I'm on the piss drinking wine. It's only a little bit of wine, James. It's only a little bit of wine. Is the OST a fighter? It depends how you define a fighter. It's not like a Street Fighter one-on-one kind of fighter. But you do fight stuff in it. Thanks for playing the Guess the OST game. It's less obvious right now. I wouldn't recognize the track that's currently playing. It's also either not a game that I anticipate that you will have played or will particularly know. So you are welcome to keep guessing. And I reckon you'll probably take that as a challenge and keep on going until you get it, but I'd be surprised if you know the game. Tony, you're driving so you don't get shot by your neighbors. You need to fix your relationship. Okay, what have we got? What have we got next? I haven't actually got anything next, because I'm lost and confused. I don't know where I am anymore or what I'm talking about. This is Q&Asa. Welcome. Past, present, future of games. We talk about stuff. What's everyone been playing? Isla, you've been driving and thinking about the music. It's cartoony graphics. I mean, yeah, it is. It is indeed. Tony, the only reason that you fight is for your family and hentai. Okay. Okay. Give you 5 minutes. If there's enough questions, you'll have your 5 minutes, but I'm going to get onto the questions soon. So, James. Okay, driving, yeah. Gaming with passion. Amin, am I going to stream anything today? So my plan for today is to stream. I'm going to have a little break after this to sort some stuff out. But when I come back, I'll stream some Expedition 33, because it's in my best interest to finish that game as soon as possible and finish all of the games that I've got open and running at the moment. I want to play a lot of Expedition 33. Like I say, that one's still on my good list. I'm happy with it. So I will play that. Tomorrow, I think I'm going to stream Slay the Princess, which has been on my list to stream for 100 years now. And I reckon I can probably do that in one sitting, like the entirety of Slay the Princess in one go. I know that the time that I stream means that not many people will be able to get the start to finish of it in one go, but I can probably do that. So Chronic knows the game, he's played it some, and Cyber, I know, recommended it in the first place. But I've had that for ages. I had a thumbnail for it for ages. I just need to get on and play it. So I think I want to do that. I've got a weird calling at the moment to play a 4X game. I want to play Age of Wonders 4. Which is weird, because last week I had a weird calling to play all the survival games. The last couple of weeks I had that, and it's kind of been replaced wholesale with a desire to play a 4X game. But it'll loop back around. I just want to play everything all the time. It's a problem. And I have not figured out how to get more days into the week yet. Non-im questions. Your job? No. You're not home. You can't do the questions. Tony, do you a favour. When I play Slay the Princess, can I stop at the end and not stream it? It's an insight. No, I cannot, Tony. But I'll stream it so late that everybody misses the ending. And then I can just delete. I can chop that bit off the video. For the sake of the inside joke. Chronic, you didn't play it. You watched Sidesman play it right up to the end, and he refused to finish it. From what I gather, it has many points that you could consider the end, right? Kind of implies that in the message that it gives you when you launch it. You are not my arse. Oh no, you're just calling me an arse. I understand. Very confusing. Okay, well in that case, let's start going through some questions. If I think of any topics I was supposed to talk about along the way... Oh, come on, you must recognise it. Someone must recognise it. Burly Bird Media, you might recognise it. Gaming Arcadia things, absolutely. Question time. Yeah, let's start with the questions. And if I think of the topics that I missed, then we'll we'll look back and we'll get them. But I didn't really put any kind of... I say I'm lying, right? I was going to say I didn't put any preparation into Q&Asa today, but I did. I got this fine OST. I recorded this background that's behind me. Like, that counts as preparation. I scheduled it early. I skipped over the bit where I think about what I'm doing, as the least important part of preparation is planning what we're going to talk about. So that got glossed over, and here we are. First question, Amin, when should we expect another guest for the round table? I better get started on sending invites. I said you could stick anything in there, but I didn't mean pressure. I didn't want you to start putting pressure my way to get things done. So I don't know the answer, Amin. Might have someone on this week, might not. That is pressure, Tony. It's pressure for me. It's forcing me to step out of my comfort zone and talk to people. So I don't know. I mean, there will be more, right? And I think as a first step, I'm fortunate that I had a really good guest for the first step who could carry a podcast without me being there, right? I could have just stayed silent and he would have just taken it and spoken without me, and it would have been a good show. So that worked really well. Even if I asked a half-assed question that didn't make any sense, Karak is very accommodating and would turn it into a talking point anyway. So that made it very easy. I think I'll be on Karak's podcast on Friday as well. So there will be more conversations about obscure Saturn games and all the rest of it happening over there on Friday. Stick anything in there, yes, Wix, anything in there, and I will look at it. That's all I can promise. Isla has asked, if you had to make a guide for a game, which game would it be? I would absolutely not make a guide for a game. There is no game that I know well enough to adequately put down into a guide. It's one of those things, it's like personal issue is I feel I need to know absolutely everything about a subject before I'm in a position to talk about that subject. And a guide is like, it's a declaration that I'm an authority on a game and I know everything about it if I'm in a position to put a guide out for people. And I could never do that. And it's weird because guides are maybe not so much now, especially with like AI siphoning all of the details from every guide that people write. But like 10, 15 years ago, guides kind of took over all of the gaming websites as the only thing that was worth putting together to make any money. So all of the gaming websites were like, oh, 50% of our traffic is people looking for guides on the latest games. So it became a thing that people pumped out at high volume, sticking loads and loads of guides on every single game in a way that I could never, because it wouldn't feel like true. I'd feel like a fraud if I were pretending to be an expert on every game that's come along. A guide usually takes a whole team, to be fair. Maybe, but at the same time, Wix, if you had a look at the stuff people were complaining about as websites were collapsing like 10 years ago, they were being obliged to create like 5 game guides in a day or something, like something that's not feasible. Nobody can do. You can't do that. It's impossible. But it was the expectation that was being set from like your Ziff Davises and like the weirdos that own all the gaming websites and have these disconnected expectations of what it takes to make content. So yes, to actually play and study a game properly and have that extent of knowledge would take a lot. In terms of what I could make a guide for, though, what do I know best? If I was forced into making a guide on a game, like under exam conditions to prove that I know a lot about something, then that game would be none. I couldn't do it. I'm not an expert in anything. I surrender. I give up. This question was too hard. Next question is, Amin, what are the plans? Oh, Amin, come on. What's with the pressure? Just piling it on. What are the plans for this upcoming community games? I am defeated. Somebody kill the stream. Cut my internet. I couldn't do a guide on Beat Saber. I'm terrible at Beat Saber. I don't know the good strategies for it. Hit the blocks. Waggle your wrist. Pete, lazy publishers could start producing digital manuals instead of being rubbish. Well, they do, don't they? Do you not get digital manuals for games? I've never looked, I must confess, which is probably fair reason not to make them, because I doubt many people look, but I know, obviously, you don't get paper manuals like you used to in the olden days, packaged in with your games. I know those went away, but do you not get digital manuals if you choose to search for it? The best guide is Get Good. I mean, if that's all I need to do, Chronic, if I just, fly. I just need to say Get Good and that counts as a guide for all of the games, then yeah, I'll do all of them all at once. Why not? I could do an Elden Ring guide with Dave Max assistance. Yeah, there's several people around that could assist in putting together a fairly comprehensive Elden Ring guide, but I would contribute very little because, I mean, you saw the way I played Elden Ring and you've seen how I retain information on games that I'm streaming, which is to say I do not retain much of anything. So, sounds like Metroid Prime, you are so far off. So far off. But thanks for playing. You've at least made Tony feel better with his Baldur's Gate 3. Wix, I call myself a VR gamer. Only game that matters is Beat Saber. Only game that matters is Beat Saber. Only track that matters is Gangnam Style. Which was modded in there, but had a perfect block set to kind of trick people into doing the full dance routine. But I haven't touched Beat Saber for a very long time. And I don't call myself a VR gamer because I've not played VR for like at least 3 months. But next week I'll be a VR gamer again. But it won't be Beat Saber because I can't play that on my treadmill. Tom, have I blamed Chronic? So I apologise, Tom, for the chatbot that I use to consolidate messages. You two have the same colour name. I don't think it will look like that on YouTube, but for me, Tom and Chronic, you're both a kind of light blue and you're both the same length of name. So at a glance, you are the same person. Like back in the day when everybody was Tony. Now Tom and Chronic are interchangeable and I cannot help it. Chronic, by the way, I see that you're here when you didn't expect to be. I hope that means everything is okay as can be. Right. Next one is from Isla. I got green apple Sprite from McDonald's. That's not a real thing. But if it is, I'm sure it's pretty delicious. I used to like apple tango once upon a time. Once upon a time. Don't drink that much of the old pop anymore. Is that what Americans call it? Do they go for pop or is that us? I don't know. Someone does. You know, fizzy drinks. Isla is Tony. Everybody is Tony. I get confused. Let's have... Tony has asked... Tony, you're supposed to ask me questions. Tony has asked, Isla, is Minecraft going to have a sequel? Or is it stuck there forever? Like, I feel this is fair when I'm confusing other people. Oi, don't talk as me, that's cheating, Soda. No, I feel this is fair. So I've been getting people's names wrong. I've been calling Tom Chronic and Chronic Tom and everybody Tony. So for Tony to come out and call me Isla, I can't complain that heavily. I'm just going to take that at face value and say yes. No, Minecraft... Is Minecraft ever going to have a sequel? I mean, a fool would say never, right? Never say never. But... like actual Isla says, they'll probably just keep that one going forever. I mean, it's not hit any technical limitations, is it? It's not like they need to refine the horrible art style, and that's not speaking as Isla. She'd be furious if I called it a horrible art style, and she will be furious because I've said it out loud. So, oh, and he's off, so I don't need to answer it. Thank goodness, no more speculation on a sequel to Minecraft because Tony is off. Catch you later, Tony. Next one. FTW, will I be getting Shinobi when it drops? And have I played the demo? I have not played the demo, and I've not played Ninja Gaiden Ragebound. I'm not that fussed, honestly. Uh-oh. Isla's going to destroy Tony. There's Fury and I'm going to say festivities. Because for me, that will be classic entertainment. So, Shinobi, FCW, are you going to play Shinobi? Are you into that? Have you played the demo? I don't have a massive affinity with the series, so it's like I don't mind it. I would play a 2D one. The Ninja Gaiden one also looks kind of fun, but I don't know realistically when I'll get to playing it because it's just not a high priority. Wix, would I collab with Gaz again in future? I not on this channel because this channel could not abide I don't think he can not do the whole Ponies Xbox thing, but elsewhere, sure. Chronic has asked, when you get Tony back on the stream? Wow, when am I going to get Tony back on the stream? That's a good question, Chronic. Soon. So he confirmed that he can play some games with me, but in the crazy hours when most people are asleep, right? Or not most people, but the American hours. So getting into the small hours of our mornings in the UK, I'll be able to get carried through some games by Tony. Or we had a particular co-op game that we agreed to, and I've forgotten what it was. Or it was kind of anime. It was Bandai Namco. It was a co-op anime Souls-like where you have lots and lots of hairstyles. I can't remember what it was called. If anyone can remember what I agreed to play with Tony. Code Vein. It was called Code Vein. Thank you, me. Good prompt. Well remembered. Yeah, I'm going to play Code Vein with Tony. It's the plan, last I heard. Unfortunately, he's just disappeared, so he can't confirm. But Just James has asked, Jez is away on Xbox 2 soon and thinks that I should replace him that Friday with Rand. I mean, I have no control over that, James. Good shout. I agree. I should replace everybody at all times. But highly unlikely on that one. Highly unlikely. I would be 8 millionth on the pecking order for someone to host that, I would think. So I'm an unpopular fella. Tube Super Chat. Pete, thank you, Pete. Thank you, Pete. We need to get Tony and Isla on. You need to get Tony and Isla onto what kind of show, Pete? Like which one of the many scheduled events? What do you want to see them doing? Not unpopular. I'm unpopular in the circle of like content creators. Isla Minecraft. That's I understand Isla, but I asked Pete, not you. Pete, what would you like to see? And let's have the next question as well, please. Grounded? You don't want to play Grounded? What do you mean? You don't want to play Grounded, do you? I understand Minecraft, but get them on any show. Any show. Understood. Quest noted. Oh, you're trying to guess the OST. Yeah, no, it's not Grounded. No one's guessing it. I'm surprised. Especially as the signature theme has already played. Which I deliberately moved away from the start because I thought it would give it away too quickly. Okay, here's another one. It is Burly Bird Media. Is it true that we might play multiplayer games on Dungeon Master? I heard a rumor that we'll play something multiplayer this Sunday on Dungeon Master. Challenges and all. Which I'll do my best, but I struggle without the challenges. So we had Dungeon Master we did on Burly Bird channel on Sunday. And we got to set quite interesting challenges for Hitman. I made JT play and JG. Got to get that name right soon. Only be able to engage in combat with his enemies when he had looked them in the eye. When he could see the whites of their eyes, then he was allowed to murder them or knock them out or whatever. Stuff like that. Had to put a fish in the most socially awkward position that he could find. They were good challenges, so it was quite fun. And we'll do something similar in some other game. And I'll do my best. Hitman lends itself quite well to silly challenges. I'm not sure what we're playing this Sunday, but I'm sure I'm sure we'll come up with something funny. 2D or 3D? It is two-dimensional. Is El Diablo a game? I know Diablo is a game. El Diablo is such a obvious name that it's probably also a game, but no. Baba Yaga, is that a game? If these are your guesses at the game, then you are incorrect. If these are your guesses at Tony, El Diablo is Tony, Baba Yaga is Tony. Okay. You can't just say you're trying to guess the OST and then throw out little names and say, no, I'm talking about Tony now. Throwing me off and I'm all over the place. I'm all over the place without you trying to throw me off. Can I have the next question, please? Well, when we get to the end of the questions, I'm going to blurt out what the OST is and it'll be game over. I mean, if you can work in the gaming industry and you can pick any position, what would you pick? By picking a position, can I inherit the talent required for that position? Or do I have to base it on my current skill set? Because on my current skill set, I'd have to put myself right at the top. As high up the chain as I can go so that I can tell more skilled people to do the actual work and I can just be the creative guy that has silly ideas. It's one of those things everybody has ideas that they insist are brilliant because everyone likes their own ideas. And there are more ideas than there are skills and ability to realize those ideas. And I could be one of the people at the top having ideas that I insist are brilliant and making people implement them. But I'm pretty sure my ideas would be brilliant. So I would be a lead producer / designer / king. And I would make the talented artists and developers realize my brilliant ideas. That's an easy question. Oh, I would inherit the skills. Oh, okay. If I would inherit the skills, I mean, I would love to be a brilliant animator and artist. And the reason that I say that is because that's so far outside of my skill zone. I'm not arty at all. More realistic for me, if I was to try and acquire skills, it would definitely be something of a more logical position. I would be more codey if I were to actually if I were to acquire through natural means the skills to do anything. I would have to aim somewhere codey because I'm not arty whatsoever. But if I've got a choice of just walking into a position and inheriting the skill set, something arty. If I don't get to inherit the skill set, as high up as possible, king of the games, tell people what to do. And I would be great at it. Nate State Games Project Red, you reckon would be unreal? Oh, you want to know which studio you'd go to as well. Yeah, you're getting very specific. So you're picking somebody else's job. You're like, I'm going to replace that person. So in that case, I would probably do it out of spite. I'd do little interviews. I'd find out who I really dislike and I would take their job. I'd not worry about my own productivity or what comes out of it. I'd just be nasty. Send someone home like, I've been offered any job that I want and I don't like you, so I'm having yours. Dave the Diver, no. Next question, please. Ask more questions so you can keep thinking. It's not going to work. Evening, Joe. You're not allowed to ask a question. You stuck something in there, though. I can't actually remember what I put on the box. It said that no one's allowed to put anything in there. So either way, you've breached. If you want to ask a question, ask it. Are there any more? Have I got to the end before anyone's guessed the OST? The current track, the one that's playing right now, is not a giveaway for the game that it comes from. I don't think anyone would get it from this. Raymond, no. These are blind guesses. Like vaguely following the clues that I've given you, but you're not going to get it. You're not that close anymore. Is it a platformer? Not really. Not really. Like there is a jump button, but it's not a platformer. Sounds like it travels. Well. There aren't many games where you don't travel at all. Bubble or whatever. Hodl Shark, it looked like you could. It looked like you could not, but you could. So your question was a false statement. Yeah, it's trickery, illusions, YouTube tricks. But no, you've done it. It got through. Isla, are there any more? All right, we don't. Oh, this one, I would recognize the game from what's playing right now. I like to think anyway, but I'm pretty sure. What are we drinking? It's, do you know what? I stopped for ages. But I'm back on the overly sweet red wine. So I didn't have any the whole time you were away. But then I went to Italy and had some red wine, and I was like, oh, I like red wine actually. So now I'm drinking some again every now and again. It's definitely not Expedition 33, Tom. Definitely not Expedition 33. Are there any more questions? This sounds like Asia. No, it's a game. It's definitely a game. Wine bad? No, it's not. It's nice. It's good. Is that stressful? No, I'm not drinking it as a stress response. I stopped drinking it because perhaps I was drinking it as a stress response. But now I'm quite relaxed, so I have a good, wholesome, healthy relationship with my wine. Yes. So, you should not answer anything here. Good. It's done. I got through the questions. Wine is good. If Microsoft was a drink, what would it be? Nate. You what, mate? I don't know. I don't know. Something greedy. Can a drink be greedy? It's not a Doom game. It's not a Doom game. Time's up on the OST. Nobody's getting the OST. It's gone. You've all missed it. You've all missed it, and I'm gonna reveal it in just a second. Meow. You ready for this? It's not fair. You tried. You did well. Which one shall I use? Let's use the original announcement trailer. Here it comes. Here it comes. Here it comes. There you go. Your OST for today was Castle Crashers. Final Fantasy something. No. No. It was Castle Crashers. Fantastic little game. Kit has played it and didn't get it. Chronic's never played it. You've missed out. Castle Crashers was good. It's a good game. And the OST has been good. I've enjoyed having it in the background. So, what, James? James, play it now. Go and get it. Put down Enslaved. Put down Final Fantasy 14. Go and pick up Castle Crashers. Amin's never played it. Tom's pretending he's never played it. There's no way that none of you have played Castle Crashers. No way that I'm the only one that's played it. Either way, you've learned. You've learned, and you need to go and rectify that. It's 4-player co-op as well, so you worked so hard. It's not fair. You drove so fast. I'm sorry. I appreciate your guesses. They helped move it along. So Joe's also never played it. How have none of you played it? Ah, criminal. This is very sad news. I do recommend. Never heard of it. FCW. Now you're just being mean. I have no stake in it. It doesn't hurt me, or it shouldn't hurt me that you say that. But it was. It's probably still, actually, if I were to fire up the Xbox now and look at my, the old avatars that they had, I'm fairly sure that my avatar is wearing the green Castle Crasher helmet, and has been for like 8 years. More than that. It's actually quite a small number. I was going to say 8,000, and I thought, no, let's not do exaggeration this time. Let's pick a reasonable guess. And then I picked a number that was way too low, because Castle Crashers was an Xbox 360 game first. Yeah. Is it even a real game? Come on now. Come on. You typed Cuphead while driving. You were banned from typing while driving. 8.5 on IGN. Wix has also not heard of it and has gone and looked it up on IGN and determined that it has strong reviews because it was a brilliant game. It's like crown jewel of Xbox Live Arcade. More OST game next week. No promises, because it's hard. It takes more time than it should to pick a good one. FCW, don't apologize to me, apologize to yourself, because it is you that has missed out here, not me. I've played the entirety of Castle Crashers more than once, so go and look at it now. A whole bunch of you should go and play it together. Like I say, 4-player co-op. Go and do it. That's it. We've reached the end. So for a week that had no particular topics and nothing to talk about, we've managed to run a good almost 2 hours. I think that counts as a win. There are things coming. So I'm going to play Expedition 33 over on the little YouTube channel in a little bit. But on this channel, we've got... What's on Thursday? Something happens on Thursday. Split stream on Thursday. We'll be starting a new game. Possibly a Gotham game. Terrible co-op Gotham game, which could be any of Gotham Knights or Suicide Squad. But I think we're starting one of those. Friday's going to have community games. Saturday's going to have Arcadia Roundtable and community games. Sunday's going to have Dungeon Master over on the Burly Bird one. And there's all the streaming in between. So loads of stuff going on. Hopefully another one of those videos. Friday, Saturday, kind of Sunday time as well. Play Castle Crashers. And I'll see you in the Discord. There.